So this is the red photo booth, aka the OG. This base, this one right here, the thicker one, is the base, and then this top part, this part goes on the top. It's the slimmer one. The screen is always facing inward, and these guys unclip. Same thing on the other side. It'll do that because it's uneven. So whenever you want to put this guy back together, you're gonna kind of tilt this guy forward so that it matches up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Same thing down there. Pretty much unhooked now. This guy, that's the front of it there. So this guy here is gonna get twisted, and it's gonna the flash area is gonna face that way. The screen is gonna face that way. It's gonna be mounted, and it's gonna be able to be latched here. So it's gonna go flush right here. So you'll have some excess space down here, and you'll be able to see that here in just a little bit. So you're definitely gonna need help lifting this bad boy up on top. Although this bottom part is a lot heavier because the printer's in there, but I definitely need two people. Again, the screen is going to face this way. This one does not have a door. That's a good indication that you're setting it up right versus the reverse. And then I am going ahead and run the power cable over here to this hole right here. So that's where you're going to run the power to. So we're going to open this guy up. We're going to do a few things in here. One, you can kind of tilt this laptop out of the way. Everything should be connected to it. So you're going to look for here is pretty much this cable that is the one for this surge protector, that you're going to run that through this hole right here. And that pretty much is going to line up with the bottom base as well. So you're going to run this guy, and then you're also going to run these other two cables that are going to be for the printer. So power, USB, and then for the whole power system in here. So we're going to go ahead and run it in through here. So I ran the power through there. I'm going to go ahead and unlatch this guy. As you can see, it's right here. So then this guy is going to go to the back of the printer. We'll connect that here in a little bit. But this guy is going to go to your extension. I have one in here too that you're going to be using. This origin one is going to pretty much stay here, but that black one is the one that you're going to use. So you connect it here, boom, and then you connect the power and the USB to the printer over here, and you got to verify that this guy turns on. It should already be on, so then you'll hear some bells and whistles go off. Same thing with this guy. It should be on. If not, there's a power connection back here. It's easy to maneuver. You can open this guy up, kind of like I just did here. Push it forward. You'll see these guys light up right here. I always put this little thing in here for when we travel and we move this guy, so it keeps it kind of safe or whatever. So we will need to take this guy out for the process, but you have enough roll here or enough media for your event, so you should be good on that. So I've pulled the printer out here just so I can have access to this guy. These guys are connected, but this one did not turn on, so you guys can just go ahead and click it on. And I'll go ahead and remove this thing. Usually I try to leave enough media in here for the job. I like to just extend this guy out so you don't prevent any issues. So it's like that. Es masoquista. So let's slide this back over her. Right, now we got power. As you can see, this is lit up in here now. This is the switch for that. So this controls it, the full power out here, in there. Then also out here, The flash should be on as well. I'm gonna go ahead and power this guy on, and we're gonna run through some tests. All right, so you'll verify that all these guys are connected. One of these is for the touchscreen, the other one's for the camera. This is the HDMI to the screen. This is the power, and then this is for the printer over here. So that's what you should have connected. If for whatever reason the camera's not on, you just do the off and on, just to kind of reset it. You might get an indication on here that it detects it. It's all good if you do. We're gonna go ahead and kick off the program. It's called Darkroom Booth. And I should already have the event loaded for you. If for whatever reason you're not seeing the events populate on this side, that means that they got scrunched up. Don't panic, they're in there. You just gotta hit that plus button to extend them out. So the one that we are gonna be working with today is the date of the event. So 10/27, 2021. Happy birthday to me. And everything should already be good. We just want to verify a few things. The biggest stuff that ends up happening is if, you know, you're trying to print this thing and you get an error message once you hit the start booth thing saying that the printer's not detected. If you want to continue or cancel, you'll hit cancel and you'll click on global settings. All right, and then you'll go to printer options, and this has to be a 1 right there. Okay, if it's a 0, that means it's not being detected. So what you do is you'll make sure that the printer is on, that the USBs are connected, it's good. You may have to restart the printer in the back, and even then it won't detect it. You're gonna have to go on here and go auto detect, and it'll give you that message. Chingon. It should be a 1. Go back to events. That's usually what ends up happening in some of these events, is that it doesn't want to run because it'll be like, you'll get that message box about the printer. Now you'll have to, on this, you click on that and it'll bring up all these different options. What we're going to do is bring up the live view. We're going to hit test. External flash compensation is on. We'll hit test, and that's pretty much the camera here. So the big thing with this is adjusting the camera here for how far away you want it and how close you want it. Okay, this is going to be a drive-through event, so you're kind of going to want a bigger, wider shot, because the families are going to be rolling up in their cars for this event. But that's not necessarily going to be the case for other events. So the big one here does that, and then the outer ring here is the focus. So once you get that good, you'll need a test subject. Make sure it's nice and focused. See, right there's good. So that's that. Let go out of the test. Now you want to make sure you click back on that camera. This is always set to manual, because if you have it on auto, it messes with the timing, and it's a issue. So it's on manual, and this is an issue that we can't prevent. That's just how this thing is built. You're not gonna mess with any settings on this guy. The only thing that you're gonna ever mess with, on off, and then focus, and the outer zoom. All right, and here is where you mess with everything. So you're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this at 1/50 for right now, but this is usually what you're gonna be messing with. You don't want that on auto. If it's super bright outside, you're gonna do, the settings are gonna be 100. That's if you're outdoors and it's super bright, and then you do 1/200 on the TV thing here. All right, if it's super dark, you're gonna bring this guy down to 1/50, and then you're gonna have to do 1600 here. All right, so those are the settings for those things. But in order for you to test that, for example, I think a good safe spot right now is gonna be these settings: 1/50, 800. You hardly ever mess with this. You can do 4.0 if it's really dark inside, and then the way you increase it up here is it gets lighter. So not lighter, but this is if it's a really dark situation. So, but if it's lighter out, you increase it. So I'll leave it at 5.0. I won't mess with that. But you can test it by going to camera up on top, hitting live view, and you can always test to see what that looks like. That's why it's called live view. So again, it pretty much looks pretty good. And now to test it and everything's good, you go ahead and hit start booth. Make sure that this is being replicated over here on this side. Boom. What's up, homie? It has a really quick countdown. See how it's like super bright? The flash is on. So we may have to adjust that. But I'm super close though. The cars are gonna be pretty far. So it should be okay. You're gonna have to test it a few times, and you gotta, if you have to readjust it, it's okay. The countdown is pretty quick on this. So as soon as you hit start, it's boom, because the cars are coming and you do want it to be a faster vámonos and chinga. So that's why I have the counter set to that. And it's just one picture. We'll have to put the catcher, the cootie catcher over here. And it goes like this. All right. It's the cootie catcher. So that's what this guy looks like. And boom, you just give it to them and on to the next one. Now to tear this thing down, you hit escape on the keyboard and you just close this guy out and you will just shut it down. So when you turn it on, there shouldn't be a password on here. It should just automatically take you to that. But once you're running the event, what you could do is you can open up the laptop. Completely and just leave it like that. And then you can close this guy once you're running the event. All right. So for us to be able to finalize everything, again, we're going to disconnect these things, feed those cables up, disconnect that guy, put the extension cord back in there. Just pretty much the reverse of the setup, but we don't want to forget this bad boy right here. And yeah, so this guy faces this guy. Arturo should be able to help you on how to put this guy down and all that.